Yeah, the repression of certain primal energies or primal desires or primal instincts obliges the nervous system and the mind to create like it has to create compartments. This over there, it's like you have a closet, you shove your shit in it, close the closet, make sure nobody goes to see it. And of course, that compartmentalization, it's not just I compartmentalize, I have to seal it. And as I've said many times, the so-called mind, the hard drive of the mind is the human body. So whatever is happening in your mind, it expresses itself in the brain and it will express itself throughout the entire body also. So when you close something, you seal something, it literally closes certain pathways in your nervous system and sensory pathways throughout your body and creates a corresponding knot in certain organs, in a chain of tension. And that part now, that segment, that line, if you like, becomes numb, dysfunctional. You lose essentially power. But the power now, that's instead of the power circulating, is utilized to block the circulation. So essentially, I'm going to use this as a generic term, you're generating a cancer. Something that literally blocks the flow. Yeah, but that's in your mind first. And whatever is blocking the flow in your mind is the conditioning. And that conditioning is so well instituted. Like I said, your survival depends on it. So for you to deal with some kind of basic trauma or some basic dysfunction in your body or basic ailment is nothing compared to your potential outcast or jail or murder or to be killed because you're evil. People always forget, it doesn't matter that today human beings can live with their machines and never talk to another person forever. At the foundation, the root of the human being is earth. And so therefore, the root of the human experience is primal. That means human beings' survival at a primal level depends on community, tribe. It's tribal. So it's not because you live in a penthouse in Manhattan that foundation is gone. It's not gone. It's still there. It still expresses itself differently. Even though it may totally have seemed to disappear, it's still there. So it's foundational for your survival to be quote unquote accepted by the so-called community around you. Your survival depends on it. And even society, which is a distorted version of tribal living, is still tribal. It's just sophisticated. If the so-called big tribe of society, hell, you're stupid, you're a moron on Twitter and you say something that displeases them, and then people come and chastise you and moralize you because how evil you are to think this way. What evil person you are. Imagine. So imagine you're a kid and you watch this. What do you understand? So if I think this and then I get chastised and I'm made into a devil, so therefore I should think this way. Yeah, but I don't think this way, I think this. I don't think this way, I think this way. No, this is going to cost me a lot. So there must be something wrong with me if I think this way. Therefore, let me train myself like a fucking dog, self-training. And then you're, of course, supported by schools, so-called bullshit governmental therapists, all the bullshit that you read in libraries, all the nonsense you see on the internet is all supporting this. Everybody says the same thing. Have you noticed? Oh yeah, it's true, I forgot. It's divided in two. But they're always saying the same thing, left or right. Same thing, left or right. So now you're being conditioned, you're going to self-condition, self-hypnotize yourself to buy into this. Otherwise, your life is in jeopardy. This is not a new phenomenon. I don't think it's ever been as intense or psychotic as now. I like it better like this. But this has always been, like I said, every regime wants to weed out what it's not to its advantage. If it's not to my advantage that you believe in red, I'm going to tell you red is evil and I'm going to tell you blue is the solution. Because I need you to behave as a blue person, walk blue, fuck blue, eat blue, shit blue. Work blue. That's what I need you to do to take you from here to there. Red is in the way, so therefore it's not wrong to say that red is evil from my agenda. And people don't seem to understand or seem to have forgotten. And some people understand, shout out to you, society is governed by, I'm not going to get into this. The point is, society is not on your side. It doesn't care about you. You're a fucking resource. You're the thing that works and labors to grow it, whatever it is, and whoever rules that. So today, modern culture is the religion of the world. It's what disseminates the truth, it's what disseminates what's right or wrong, and it's what punishes. Well, back in the days, religion was there to do that for you. The point is, people are conditioned like animals, and they believe their own conditioning, because to consider that perhaps this is not right is literally a threat for your own survival. Your organism will respond with panic. When you challenge the gods in your mind, your first response is fear. But why? Because your survival, at least you believe, in some instances it's totally true, your survival depends on you believing blue. So to question blue and to wonder what's beyond blue, which may be red, is literally spitting in the face of your deity, which determines that you live or don't. Now that's a deep, profound psychic process. Any person who's done any kind of self-work, even if it's just at the surface, sooner or later has to knock on some kind of resistances, blockages, tensions that hide yourself. Even if it's just one tiny little layer. Everyone's experienced this, at least to a certain degree. I'm talking about surface stuff. It's the same pattern all the way down to the core. So what's behind that wall? Well, a truth. Your deeper truth. I didn't say you believe in red. I said you may not believe in blue. You don't know what's beyond that. But the idea of it scares the shit out of you. And what do people do? They run into more blueness. They become more blue. They buy a blue hat. They buy a blue new t-shirt. They have a renewed zeal towards the blue because they got to run away from the sound of whatever's behind the wall of blue, which is that may be red, orange, fucking purple. It's deep. The psyche is a jungle. Very few people know how to navigate through that jungle. Very few people want to navigate through the jungle. They like their cities. They like their artificial lights. They like the police that is there to make sure that nothing from the jungle ever enters into the little park. And that's the truth. The world that we live in, although it's being catalyzed in a particular direction, is a collective creation by society that refuses to deal with its psyche and what lives on the unconscious. They are shit scared of the darkness. Therefore, they are collectively choosing and accepting to live in a regime that gives them no space because they don't want to deal with what they don't know. They rather have no space. You must do this. You must do this. You have to be that. They rather live like slaves than to deal with what lives in the darkness of the psyche. Listen, let's be straight up. This is a so-called man's channel. How many men's channel? Because if you're watching a man's channel because you've consumed lots of stuff, how often, if ever, have you come across a man's channel that talks to you about healing? Fuck healing in the new age kind of sense. It means unfucking yourself. That's how I call it. So healing, on this channel, healing equals unfuck yourself. You like that shit? Healing equals unfuck yourself. So how many channels have you come across where it says unfuck yourself, and it's not just about learning new patterns of behavior so that you can get more money and get more pussy? No, I'm talking about unfuck yourself. If you come across one, shout out to them. Put their name in the comment section. But besides that, I'm pretty sure it's nil or almost nil. Now we know that women have more interest in the psyche and all of this. This is a thing I love about women. God bless them. But this is not the subject here. So no, nobody wants to talk about this stuff. Nobody. Mostly nobody. That would be fair. No, stay at the surface. Chase more material nonsense. That is where you will find your salvation. The fact that inside of you you're fucking broken. The fact that inside of you you are at war with yourself. The fact that inside of you there is absolutely no cohesion. It's unimportant. What matters is that you can create a facade, that you can scotch tape it together strong enough, solid enough. This capsule is brought to you by Scotch tape. Scotch tape, stick everything together and live happy. You can scotch tape your so-called broken persona into something that you can sell to some kind of stupid ass bitch and a bunch of morons, and you can chase your little material things so that you can feel that you're the man. But we know what's underneath. And that's why you men have an issue with women, because the woman, she cannot help herself. No matter how superficial she is, no matter how fake her tits are, no matter how fake her lips are and her ass are, she can't help herself. It is her nature. She's the mistress of the underworld. She's the mistress of the psyche. She looks at you, and it is her nature to see what you're really made of. And it doesn't matter how your facade is strong, she can see you're broken. Oh, and she'll capitalize on it in one way or another. I promise you that. And why the fuck shouldn't she?